अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः पुरुषश्च अधिदैवतम् अधियज्ञो अहम एवात्र देह देह भृतां वर. Hello friends. Friends, this is the fourth shlok of the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and today we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's first go over its meaning. So the shlok says Adhibhutam ksharo bhavah, which means the nature of the beings is perishable. Purushascha adhidaivatam, which means and above the devas is the Purusha. Adhiyagyo aham evatra, which means I am the only one indeed above the yagya. Deha deha bhritam vara, which means who fills the body in the body the best. So Shri Krishna over here is describing the different levels of existences, and what he is saying over here is that the beings as such which are present over here in this world, they have the tendency of being perishable, and the this basically includes even the devas also. So all the beings which are part of this nature have this tendency of being perishable, and above the devas actually is Purusha himself. He then says that he is the one who is above the yagya by himself, so only him in itself is above the yagya, and he is the one who fills all the being with life. So that's why he is the best one. So the point that has been made over here by Sri Krishna is that in this physical world, all the beings that are present over here, they might want to be eternal, but they are not. Everything which is related to this physical world is changing, and so whatever comes into existence in this nature will come to an end at a certain point of time. And this includes devas also actually, because devas are the different aspects of this creation, and creation is basically changing all the time. Now the devas actually are presided by the Purusha, and Purush, you can see, is the one who is above all of these things. So he is basically, if you were to look at this entire creation as one single entity, then that is what Purusha is. So Purush basically is, you can say, the body of the Purush is this entire creation, and devas are different aspects of this entire creation. So above the devas is the Purusha, and there are a lot of things which are going on inside this creation. So all these different devas are actually interacting with each other, which means that different aspects of this creation are interacting with each other, and that is how all the activities are going on in this creation. And so these activities are the yagya in itself, and above the yagya is Sri Krishna himself. So he is the only one who is above the yagya. So you can see say that that portion which is eternal, unchanging, which is the higher portion of his, which he described to be the ones that the foolish people do not really understand to be his higher nature. So that is what is presiding over this entire yagya, which is going on inside this Purusha, where different devas are interacting with each other, and these devas basically have different beings taking part for them, and this is this entire yagya. So you can understand this from the example of let's say the interaction between India and Pakistan. Say, so let's say if there was to a war happen between India and Pakistan, then this is an interaction between two devas. On one side is the Bharat Mata, which is the Devi representing India, and then there is the Pakistani Allah, you can say, who is the second Dev, who is representing the Pakistani thinking. So Bharat Mata represents the idea of India and Indian civilization, while the Pakistani Allah represents the idea of the Deobandi Islamic ideology. So these are two different devas who are now fighting with each other, you can say. And if the war was to happen, of course there will be beings who will be fighting on each side, and a lot of people will die. So those kind of things will happen. So the perishable nature of those beings is over there, and then whoever wins, basically either the Bharat Mata or the Pakistani Allah, whoever wins, that way of thinking or that aspect of the nature was the one which was more suitable for the benefit of the mankind. So that is why that aspect won, and in that manner the the idea which won basically becomes more predominant, which means that that idea is the thing which is better for every being. So this way this whole yajna actually goes forward, wherein there are different devas which are interacting with each other, and based on the situation, whichever dev is more suitable, that ideology, that thinking, that way of life, that aspect of nature actually becomes more and more prominent, while the other one declines. And so this is how these devas are interacting with each other, and how this whole creation is moving forward. So this whole thing is happening inside Purusha, and the Shri Krishna is the one who is presiding over this whole yajna. So he's the one above all of this. Now over here, the wise people, they can see through all of this, and they submit to this outcome. Whatever outcome comes out of such a thing, the wise will submit to it, and they'll say, okay, if this ideology has won, then that means that this is better. If the nature is moving in a certain direction, then that means that that is what is better. While the foolish people, what they do is they try to stick to their own identity, their own dev or whatever, and they basically want to impose that all the time. So if two nations are fighting, and if one nation wins and the other nation loses, the nation which has lost, he should learn from the nation which has won, not really try to impose his own thing, and you say that, oh, I just want to stay like this all the time. So that is this whole yajna as a process which is going on over here. Things change, everybody has to adapt to it, and as these things adapt, as things move, these things basically just keep the life interesting, and the yajna is basically moving on and on. So that is what Sri Krishna mentioned over here. I hope that I've explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.